But also excitement with the San Diego State men's soccer program. A new head coach introduced today. Ryan Hopkins joining us right now on the line. Ryan, congratulations. And what an opportunity this is for you, right? You're a SoCal native, and this will be your first head coaching opportunity. Tell us about how this came about and what type of opportunity this is for you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me on the air. Want to start off my tenure by looking for some Canon karma.
Oh, nice. Wow. Well done right there, Coach. It works for you.
Just get it started off on the right foot. Had to do that. But yeah, I couldn't be more excited to be. I take being a native of California very, very strongly, and I want to build a program the entire state is proud of. And for my first head coaching opportunity, with the resources being in a Power 5 conference, there's just so much opportunity. At San Diego State, it was too good to pass up.
Absolutely. And you paid your dues over the years, Coach, no question. And then you got to be on the staff at Virginia, which was a big-time program. What did that experience mean to you, and how could you use that experience moving forward as the head man now at San Diego State?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really taught me, I have a big belief in developing the student athlete as a whole, academically, athletically, and obviously in the community as well. And I think, when I was at Denver, which was a little bit of a mid-major, we went to the Final Four in 2016. We also had the highest team GPA in the country that year, which is probably one of my proudest moments as a coach. And then I think you go, you take an opportunity out of UVA, which is, for me, there's no one better in terms of academics, athletics. Every day you walk into the office and the 7 national championship trophies are staring back at you. You have the 7 stars on your chest, and that's the goal. Nothing less than getting that A star is acceptable. So I think that kind of pressure, those kind of standards, that's what I want to bring to San Diego State. And I think we have a great platform. It's going to be a lot of work, but those are my goals: to compete for Pac-12 championships, compete for college cups, and compete for the national title. And I definitely think those two experiences, will help me do that.
Ryan Hopkins joining us here on Xtra, the new San Diego State men's soccer coach. You mentioned the Pac-12. So what are the benefits of being in a power league, but what are the challenges, especially a conference like the Pac-12? I know the ACC's had a ton of success, but the Pac-12 has been one of the preeminent programs in men's soccer as well, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I would say between the ACC, the Big Ten and the Pac-12, kind of probably fluctuates, every couple of years on who's on top. But those are your perennial top conferences. So, the reality is we may not have some, resources as some of the other, schools in the Pac-12, but, my number one belief in the program is human capital is our number one resource. And I think the guys that we're going to bring into the program, I think some of the coaches we have there and some coaches we may bring in as well to fill out the staff are what's going to really push us ahead of some of those other programs. I think I watched Stanford, and hopefully they're not listening to this interview, but I watched Stanford in the Final Four this year, and the reality is they were the least talented team in the Final Four by a pretty wide margin. I think the things that, they're able to bring in terms of their culture, in terms of their identity, is what allows them to keep going to the Final Four. I think 4 out of the last 5 years. And I think that's what we can build at San Diego State as well.
Ryan Hopkins joined us, the new soccer coach at San Diego State. As John mentioned earlier, your entire coaching career has been as an assistant over 16 seasons. And, Brian Dutcher was an assistant coach for seemingly 50 years before he finally got his opportunity to be the head coach. And you can see where the basketball program is right now. But having been an assistant as long as you have at different levels, different programs, how does that equate to you now making that leap forward to be a head coach?
Yeah, absolutely. Funny story on that. I told JD Wicker, listen, I got to Virginia and they won a national title in men's basketball, so I expect the same thing from the Aztecs.
That's true. Yeah.
No pressure on the guys, but I'm excited to get to Viejas and cheer those guys on. What a phenomenal season that they're having. My dad was actually a basketball player. He played at Michigan, so he knows Steve Fisher, and has kind of followed his career. So we've kind of followed from afar a little bit to San Diego State. But, I think I've been unbelievably fortunate. I think a lot of the moves I made as an assistant coach, were mostly to work with people. Obviously, the university was a factor, but, I've been so blessed. John Trask at Wisconsin, big time guys, been in, coached our Olympic team, won a bunch of national titles at Indiana as an assistant and a player, and been at Wisconsin, and then I move on to Denver and I overlap with Bobby Muse, who's, I think the last 6 years has the most wins in college soccer now at Wake Forest, and then get to work with one of my best friends, Jamie Franks, who's now the head coach. And he was 28 years old as a head coach. I was 30 years old as a top assistant. And, we were able to get the team to the Final Four in 3 years. So I think that experience, and then, going to Virginia, and working for George Galnavach, working with everybody in that program. I think I've taken a lot of things from all those places, a lot of different experiences, some things I liked, some things I didn't like, and kind of have put together my own vision and philosophy. So, I think all those experiences at all different levels has really prepared me for this. But it's probably like having your first kid. You're probably not totally prepared until you sit in that seat. I think, as Mike Friesen was phenomenal during this whole process. And, I asked him, I said, what's the big difference? He's like, your decisions, they matter a lot more now. So he's like, you just got to take your time, and really think through every decision. So I know he's going to be a great resource for me, when I get over there. But I think I'm ready with all the experiences that I've had.
One more for me, Ryan. Does the new football stadium that San Diego State is about to begin building, will that benefit the soccer program in any manner, or will future college soccer games for San Diego State be played in that building? Has that been discussed?
Yeah, so that was a promise. So I'm going to put that out there. That was a promise made to me that we would probably get 1 to 2 games a year in there. So I'm putting that out on the airwaves now. So I have a lot of witnesses out there now. But yeah, that's the goal. I was a part of probably the greatest rivalry in college soccer, the Santa Barbara Cal Poly rivalry. Where we were having 12 to 15,000 people at every game. And that's something I'd like to bring to that stadium. I think between, the rivalry we already have in town with University of San Diego and now with UCSD coming into the Division I ranks, I think there's some natural rivalries and opportunities to build something like that for the community. So that is kind of my goal with that. And I think that'll be exciting, place to play those games.
Well, Coach, you start off on the right foot. Our buddy J.D. Wicker, Mike May, the entire Aztec family, Coach Martinez, Coach Long, Coach Hoke, Coach Dutcher, Coach Fisher, all over the years, all the coaches know I need the can of karma. Mm-hmm. I need the can of karma.
You should be good for 19-0 start, like the Aztecs basketball
And it's no secret that San Diego State has one of the most successful athletic programs in the entire country. Coach, congratulations. Welcome to San Diego. We know you're going to do a great job, and we'll definitely talk again down the road.
Awesome. Love to be on anytime, and anytime you guys want to pop by, let me know, and go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs. There he is.
All right.
Ryan Hopkins. He knows. If you're going to start a coaching career at San Diego State, you start it with the Cannons.
Are you calling for an undefeated season?
Not yet, but
okay.
soon.
So far.
Yeah.